So I guess whenever I'm ready, they're ready.
Yeah, I was gonna say they won't stop her.
You got you gotta come with it. You got right. You got. Thank you, Ro. I got to do that.
Don't let this man jump on stage. Don't let him jump on stage.
Good morning, church. Mic text. Mic check. Mic check. Good morning. Good morning. If you would come on in so we can get started. No, I'm not Marcus. Thank you all for being with us this morning. My name is Patrick Jones. I serve as one of the elders here. So first I want to give all the honor to all the veterans out there. Welcome. And I want you to know if you have not served in one of our armed forces, you are still a soldier in God's army. And if we can have the same mindset and same heart as those soldiers, we'll have an awesome place. We have a number of members out at a marriage retreat this weekend. We have people traveling through the holiday, but I want to welcome you all for your first time visiting. Some of you I've met before, but I can't remember your name. I thought it'd be great if I can just take a moment. So today's going to be one of those moments. It's going to be a little family time. We normally do what we call the Elders Corner. I'm going to take a few minutes to have a little of family time just to bring you up to date on all the things going on in the church. Then I'm going to recap all of Marcus' messages talking about refining. Amazing message. And then I'm going to give you a charge for the church. I'm going to give you a little challenge. And then, but first, before I go there, I want to thank Sabrina for a great job on the contribution talk. Great job. Man, she made me nervous about my notes. I must put my notes away after all that. But thank you. But we did, in order to give, if you want to give, here's ways that you can give by the church app. We have Zelle, we have Vimo. We also have our ushers in the back that has a tray. You can walk back during the time to give if you like. And we also have a box in the back. So if you want to give during this time, you can. But before we get started, I'm going to go to our Father in prayer. God, thank you for today. Thank you for how you bless us. God, I want to say a special prayer for all of our veterans out there and their families. God, thank you. Thank them for how they serve and all they've done for us. I want to pray for their families. God, I want to pray for the families that were impacted by the current furlough that's going on. God, build those families. I know they're feeling it. God, pray for the families in places like Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti, that was hit by Hurricane Melissa. I know some areas, Father, was just can't even imagine what it looked like. I saw the pictures. But God, be with those families. I know a lot of aid is coming in, but God, I pray that we get to the right place at the right time in the right hands so it can bless the people. God, I pray for our nation. I know there's a lot going on, but I pray you build our administrative staff, Father. I pray, God, you help them. God, even though they may some have different views, but I pray as they see the world, they will see you and how you would serve the world. God, thank you for this time again. Ask this in your name. Amen. I have a few pictures up. I don't know who's on the mic, who's in the back, who's upstairs. I went to kind of introduce myself and had a couple of pictures. Pictures not working? My wife don't even know I have these pictures, so I'm looking at her. She can't wait. She probably like, what's being girl up on the stage? So, no pictures. That's what I'm talking about. That's my wife, Ruth. She's sitting right there on the front row. I snuck that in on her. She's out at a wedding that my youngest son is coming soon. But Ruth and I will be celebrating our 35th year, 35 years next year in March. It's been great. We met in college. We served together in college. We have 2 boys, and it has been great. And she has been, isn't she beautiful? She has been my rock. She has said the things to me that I don't like to hear, but I know it's good for me to hear. Did I have another picture? Here's my oldest son, Rashad. Patrick Rashad. My wife did not like my middle name. So his name is Rashad. My middle name is, I won't say it, it's Leon. And she thought Leon was too much of the southern name, so she chose Rashad. So that's Rashad, him and his wife, Anna. They've been married 9 years now. And those are my 2 precious grandsons. Atticus, to my right, your left, is 5, right? He was the, and then Arlo, really, really good names. Atticus Israel Jones. Arlo Miles Jones. I said, in school, You got to live up to those names because those are some strong names. But it's very encouraging. Atticus served as a rain bearer at my youngest son's wedding, and then Arlo was the flower boy. And it's really cool how they set that up. Do I have another pick? Here's my youngest son, Corey. And that's his wife, Caitlin. They got married last month. Corey just turned 30. He's our youngest son. They had a great wedding, had a very small wedding. I wish we could have invited the entire church, but you have to respect the honors. We have a small venue out in West, outside Charlottesville, but it's a great wedding. They spent 2 weeks in Japan. Just got back. Her side of the family, there's a lot of girls. Our side of the family is a lot of boys. They already said we want to have 3 kids. And I'm like, out of those 3 kids, somebody's going to win. Now, somebody's going to get 2 or 1, and somebody may get 3, but I'm hoping we get a little girl, man. She's going to be spoiled. She's got to be spoiled. Do I have one more pick? That's them again there, Corey and Caitlin. They're happily married, they're home, and they're enjoying life. My text to get us started with the Elders Corner is out of Acts chapter 2. Thank you all for being here. This is our family time. I'm going to be updating on things that's going on in the church. As one of the elders here, I'd like to kind of give you a pulse. We're working on being transparent and open and honest about where we are. In Acts chapter 2, starting in verse 42, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostle. All the believers together and had everything in common. Everything. They sold their properties and possessions to give to anyone who had needed. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread together in their homes, and together they had glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to the number daily those who are being saved. We're a family, and God has called us to be devoted to each other. When one is in need, we're all in need. They went to the point where they sold things to help each other out. They ensured that family was taken care of. They ensured there was connection. They met together. They were devoted for just reading together, praying together, breaking bread together. And some who would give me say, Patrick, we got to get back to being family, being real. This is the example here, the early church, who we're trying to become like. And I want to encourage us to look at this and ask yourself, am I devoted to anything? What have you devoted for? This is the apostle teaching. One of our rocks of fellowship, encouraging each other, connecting with each other, breaking the bread together, having people in your home, and prayer. Marcus has done an incredible job with his message on refining. I got so many takeaways here, but I want to just recap some of Marcus' things. He just so many great messages. But before I get to that, I want to give you a quick update of where we're as a church. Church finances. You probably seen the book. We're doing okay. We're stable. Some of you who are visiting here, we have 2 buildings that we're financially taken care of. We had a larger number, but over the years, things have changed. We're in the process of selling one of our buildings down south. That building has not sold yet. The close will move back, do some things, so we're scheduled to close in that building November the 15th. So keep that in your prayers. Our weekly contribution, if you read our announcement, is $15,000 a week. Right now, on trend year to date, we're averaging like $15,470. Liz down front, she's going to correct me if I'm wrong. But last week, we hit 8,000. But we also take in mind that there's families at home. There are people being furloughed. There's other different challenges. There's other things going on in life. The more talks, the more conversations I have. I talk to friends who have family over Jamaica. They're trying to ship things. We was at the airport, and I was trying to, in Miami, I'll get back to that later. I had a picture there. I had one more picture. I forgot to do that. It was my wife and I on our cruise. We just got back from. Getting refreshed. But it was in Miami. It was in the airport. There's a family there that had a huge generator. And they went up to the counters trying to get it back home to Jamaica. It was overweight. And it said it's going to be like $150. They said, the mom came up, we don't have it. We're just trying to get a generator back home to our family. The young man behind the counter is like, I got hotel policy. We can't do anything. I got to hold the policy. I can't do anything. You got to pay. And she's pleading and pleading. And it was a huge generator. And I know they worked some things out, but just to see her heart say, I'm just trying to get help for my family. And the young man behind the corner was trying to hold to his policy. But finances are good. They're stable. If you're able to give, continue to give. If you've been challenged not to give, I pray for those who can give and pray they can give more. Our benevolence requests, they're still coming in. They're case by case. There's needs out there. We have to look at it. Man, what can we do to help you? But there are case by case. When we do a benevolence request, we ask you to fill out the form. The goal is to walk you through your finance, how you're doing, because we want to make sure that if you got some assistance, that you're not back in that place again in another couple months. So we walk through, help you. We recommend things like Find Your Peace. If you're not taking Find Your Peace, it's a great thing to do. But if you're able to give, continue to give. But we also know there's challenges out there. The Fredericksburg buildings I mentioned scheduled close on the 15th. We're currently working on what we call a hospitality team. We have been getting a lot of friends and visitors checking us out every week. Some of you have come back once, twice, and probably have not connected with anyone. We're trying to get a hospitality team together to greet you, to meet you, to get your information so we can reconnect with you. We're also working on a teaching team, people that can come in and teach and help when there's times of need. So Marcus is reaching out to that younger generation. I told Marcus we got to get a pastor time. We got to get a time for you to meet the pastor. A room. One church called their time Beer with the Pastor. I told Marcus I cannot go with beer with the pastor. I can go with pizza, maybe fries with the pastor, but I don't know about beer with the pastor. But we're trying to come with an idea where you, if you're visiting, that you could connect and meet with the pastor. Our youth project, we want to start focusing on our youth ministry, building that up. Our next generation. We know that some of you who are parents want to see that happen. They are our next generation. I had a staff meeting, an all-staff meeting. I'm in public health with my team on Friday, and I broke the team down in groups. Old school versus new school. Oh, what a great conversation. The old school's like, I ain't texting you. You better pick that phone or come see me. The young school's like, no, you better get down with technology because we don't have time to come down and see you or give you a call. It's easy to text. And then we ask questions, what's more important to you? Qualifications or years experience? Good conversation. What's most important to you? Seniority, getting the holidays or not? It was a really good conversation. But the thing that most of them all walked away with is that we got to talk more because the young school generation saw what they need to do to help out that old school. The old school generation found out what they need to do to adjust to the new school. But we're focused on that one. Building up our children's ministry, Blue Ribbon. I know it's been going on. We look for people to serve, and I know that's something that we got to work on, and we're going to get to that. God's going to bless that. The board has been hard at work, working night, day, long hours, trying to get things done, trying to get things in place. Again, I just want to thank, I think got most of the board here, Julio, Patrick. I think Willette might be missing. Marcus has joined us. And again, I know, again, I always got to thank Lily. Lily's just part of everything. She's there. She's got it all. So we got to keep her connected. 19 years plus. This morning was laughing because we needed someone to fill in the gap because people out. I was volunteer Lily for almost everything. So Lily, can you sing a song? Can you do a solo? Can you take on this? And she was like, okay, Patrick, that's not on me. So, but I want to thank the board for all they're doing. We've recently put together what we call a bylaws committee. We have some bylaws that have been in place too long, have not been updated. We're updating those bylaws to make sure that we're legally sound. We have a foundation, the qualification of roles and positions. We're looking at that, a very good committee. They're not all here, so the next time I do an Elders Corner, I would actually like to introduce them. But I want to thank DJ for facilitating that and ensuring that that has been continued to move. They've done a great job on their bylaws. Board elections. We're going to have a board election soon. We currently have a list of candidates that we're presenting. I'll talk to Marcus. Marcus and I are going to meet tomorrow to talk about those board members, potential board members for our new board. Most likely in prayer, we're going to have a whole new board. And so one person asked, well, Patrick, how about all that historical knowledge that's been around? You know, in our bylaws, it said that we can kind of put together different committees. So just like we had a bylaws committee, I'm going to propose that we put together an advisory committee of all those ones that currently serve on the board to continue to give us insight, input, and keep us up to date on historical knowledge. So more information to come with the board. So the way that works, the board members nominates individuals. We give a list of markets. He goes through. We reach out to his candidates. They'll send out an email with the name and bio so you can look at them, and then eventually we'll hold a vote. And they have to have 2/3 of a congregation vote in order to get that position. Organization structure, still working on that one. But that is just a quick update of what's going on in church here at Potomac Valley. We have a lot going on, and I want to thank the worship team. Everybody's come in. We're thin skeleton group. Everybody kind of stepped in, fit in, and they say, hey, let the Spirit work. So but everybody's kind of pitching in and doing a great job. Marcus, a transition. If you have been visiting with us, we have been going through some transition. Will Archer served here, building this foundation, still around for 12 years. He handed the torch off to Marcus, and Marcus has been preaching over the past few weeks, and he's been doing a powerful, incredible message on Refine. You know, it's just like, as I think about some of his messages, it's like a self-assessment. We're currently doing one of those at a job right now. If you work, they tell you fill out self-assessment. How you feel you're done for the year? I'm always trying to rank myself high. But sometimes I have to be realistic. Well, I'm not doing well. And then when you sit down with the boss, you got to explain to her, because once you write down you're doing extraordinary, exceptional, you got to be able to justify that with your milestones and what you're doing, what you accomplished. But his message refinement has been so amazing to me because it helped me to go a little bit deeper, do a deeper search. And I guess a question being listening to this message, are you being refined? His first message on the great worth of gold. And it talks about in order to have a pure gold, you got to get rid of the impurities. In order to get rid of the impurities, you got to get to the heat. It gets hot. And when it gets hot, do you run toward the heat or do you run away from the heat? The closer you run to the heat, the quicker you'll be refined. But it is painful at times. It hurts at times. But do you want to be pure gold? I don't know where you are this morning as you came into our doors, but I want you to know that God sees you. That's going to be one of my points. His second message on sustaining things of hope. He went out of Hebrews. He talked about Joseph and his time and his limitless of faith, endless of faith, finite, infinite of faith. It's impossible to measure. Then his message talked about Sarah. Even Sarah, as you said, was how she was patient. She considered him faithful because she said, you're going to have a kid. She waited patiently for him, and she was blessed. She was 90 years old. Abraham was 100. I can't imagine as a father. Can you imagine fathers at 102, 103, raising a 3-year-old? Wow, that's some work. He talked about Moses and a choice. He had to make his relationship. And Moses was obedient. Then he went on to talk about Noah and following directions. Those messages are so powerful, and it talks about refining you. But my question is, do you want to be refined? Do you feel that those lessons gave you great examples of how to be patient, how to wait, how to connect, testing your faith? I'm going to give a church a charge, and as an elder, I got to have two things. I got to encourage you, but I also got to challenge you. It's one of my favorite passages that comes out of John chapter 5. I came old school today. I have no slides. I just got paper and heart. And in John chapter 5, starting at verse 1, I'm going to read this passage. But the title of this message, just a charge for you as we prepare our hearts, is the phrase, do you want to get well? Again, I don't know where you are. I don't know what you've gotten for the messages. I don't know where you are in your life, with your job, in your marriage, with your kids, or with your profession. I don't know where you are. But if you're being refined, the question Jesus said, do you want to get well? A lot of times we show up as if we want to get well, but what actions are you taking to get well? Do you want to get well? John 5, starting at verse 1. The healing at the pool. Sometime later, Jesus went up to the Jerusalem for one of the Jerusalem festivals. Now, studies show, they don't say what festival, but some of the knowledge and scholars say it was about 50 days after Passover. It most likely was the, I would, in Acts, that they, someone help me out. I went there. What's the big event that happened in Acts? I went blank there. The Pentecost, thank you. The day of Pentecost. They think it was the day of Pentecost. I'm getting to that age, I get a little block every now and then. Now there in Jerusalem, near the sheep gates of the pool, the Amorites called Bethesda, and which is around by 5 covered colonnades. Here a great number of disabled people used to lie, the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, do you want to get well? He had been laying there for 38 years. With this passage of healing in the pool, historians show that angels will come down every now and then. They didn't give a time frame and stir the water. And if you got in the water first, you were totally healed. No matter what you carried, what your situation was. But if you got there first, after the angel stirred the water, you would be totally healed. He lied there. He was bedridden. He couldn't get up to beat the crowd to the pool. And he was always left out. And you notice Jesus' approach. Jesus was like, hey, do you want to get well? Sir, the invalid replied, I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I'm trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me. Then Jesus said to him, get up. If you got your Bibles there, it says get up with a quotation mark. I think it was a firm get up. His first word was like, do you want to get well? Then he came back firm. Get up. Pick up your mat and walk. At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. The days on which this had taken place was a Sabbath. Back there, Pharisees, you don't do anything like this on the Sabbath. But Jesus did, because God is always working. Once the man was cured, he picked up his mat and walked. The day on which it took place was Sabbath. So the Jewish leaders said to this man who had been healed, it is a Sabbath. The law forbids you to carry your mat. But he replied, the man who made me well said to me, pick up your mat and walk. So they asked him, who is this fellow who told you to pick up and walk? The man who was healed had no idea who he was, but Jesus had slipped away into the crowds there. Slip away in the crowds. I got one young man that I mentor, and he is really funny. He's one of those kids that grow up, and his parents are here, so I won't give him away. He's one of those kids that have very good insight. He will get close to the fire, but he won't touch it. He'll run with his crowd. He'll hang out with them. He'll laugh with them. He'll play with them. But when things got like it's going to burn you, he knew how to disappear. And he got away. He slipped away because he didn't want to be a part of it. And I admire that character, He's young, energetic, but he knows his boundaries. Later, Jesus found him at the temple courts, his man that was healed, and said to him, see, you're well again. Stop sinning or something worse will happen to you. The man went away and told his Jewish leader that it was Jesus who made him well. This is a very incredible passage. The healing of the pool. The man had been lying there for 38 years, hopeless, no one to help him, not knowing where to go. He was always beat to the water of being cured. Then Jesus come along. And Jesus asked a very simple little question, do you want to get well? And his person said, yes, I do, but no one's here to help me. And Jesus basically said, hey, get up, take your mat, and walk. He immediately was healed. He went on and lived his life. Later on, Jesus saw him out walking around and said, hey, since you're healed and you're all ready, he said, stop the sinning or something worse will happen to you. And then he knew it was Jesus. There's so much we can go to in this passage. There's so much meat there, but due to time, I have 3 points for you. Point number 1, Jesus sees our struggles and wants to heal us. Jesus sees your struggles and wants to heal you. The man was lying there. Jesus saw him. He did not ignore him. He knew his pain. He knew his suffering. He knew he was there. He took time to spend with him. And he walked up to him and said, I see you lying there. You got a lot going on. You're in pain. You're struggling. Do you want to get well? I don't know where you are this morning. I don't know where you are spiritually. I don't know if you're hurting. I don't know if you're pain. I don't know if you're struggling financially, giving, marriage, kids. There's a lot going on. But I want you to know that Jesus sees you. He sees your struggles. He feels your pain. He knows you're hurting. He wants to heal you. Jesus sees your word if you're worried. He sees your battles. He sees your brokenness. He sees your sickness. He sees your health. He sees everything that's going on with you. And he wants you to know that he is there. My challenge for you, you know, it's Jesus' heart when he saw this man lying there. He took time to spend with this man, had been laying there 38 years. Christian, the world is calling us right now. They need men and women that are Christian to see them, to acknowledge them, to help them, to serve them, to just spend a little time with them. You'll be amazed what one call, one time of prayer would do with someone. Do you see people like Jesus saw people? Jesus looked down on the crowd. He had compassion on them. When you go out into the world, do you see people through the eyes of Jesus, or are you distracted? I want to encourage us right now, with everything going on around us, to look through the eyes of Jesus. See people like Jesus saw them. Hurting, helpless, crying out, looking for a friend, looking for a connection, looking for hope. Your light and your testimony should be so encouraging to them that's like, man, you're well. I want to imitate that. Jesus did not leave the man. We're good at times in the church when we first meet someone. We're good at it. We bring them in God's house. We'll serve them a couple meals. We may even get a couple of scriptures with them. We'll walk with them. We'll talk with them. Once they quote a hill, we're gone. We slip away in the crowds. That is when people need us the most. We need to have the heart of Jesus. The challenge my church to you, my church challenge to you, is look through the eyes of Jesus. See your brothers and sisters as your brothers and sisters, people who need help. Point number 2. Healing requires faith and action. You know, we can have faith, but without action is nothing. Healing is available for you, but you got to make some action. You got to take a step. If you're struggling financially, you got to do things different. If you're struggling in your marriage, you got to do things different. If you're struggling with your kids, you got to do things different. You got to take some steps. Jesus wants to encourage you. He wants to see how your faith is moved. He wants to see your faith in action. I'm really encouraged when I read through this. I study the life of Jesus. He was a very calm, level-headed man. He knew how to pivot. He knew how to have conversations. He knew how to work with people. He knew how to approach people. He knew how to inspire them. He knew how to encourage them. But he also knew when it's time to be firm. He said, you want to heal? You want to get things right? You got to do something. You got to make a move. And he said, get up. I don't know where you are this morning. I don't know if you're struggling. You've been lying in bed. You're going through depression, maybe mental health, your life, family. I've been hearing some crazy stories over the weekend. If you watch the news, it's bad. I don't know where you are. But Jesus sees you, and he's asking you, get up. Make a move. Lean on me, and he will bless you. Get up. You know, one of the things we've known for a church here in Potomac Valley is the term is we are a messed up church with messed up people. I like that, but I don't want to stay there. If you've been coming for a while, that's been the thing with messed up church, with messed up people. Been coming a long time. It's time to get past that. If you've been messed up for so long, it's time for you to change that. God wants to be messed up to accept us, but you can't stay there. If you're going to change, you got to move. You can't stay messed up. Here's a challenge. Someone's gotten comfortable being messed up. It's comfortable coming into a building with messed up people because you don't have to do anything but stay messed up. But God said, go further than that. You cannot help no one being messed up. You can attract them in, but if they want to get well, they got to see your light shine. They got to see you changing. They got to see you doing things. So if you've been messed up for a while, I understand that. I'm going to be very sensitive to that. I'm going to be very empathetic with that. But at some point, you got to get up. And you got to want to get well. Get up, church. We're going through a lot of transition. There's a lot of needs. There's people in this congregation that are hurting. We can't get around to everyone. We need just the basic phone calls, the meals, the chats, the good, healthy fellowships. We just need just a little bit of your time to help encourage someone, just a little bit of your time. Just to acknowledge and to know that people are there. Don't stay messed up. In order for us to have the impact that God wants us to have, we have to move past being messed up. And we got to look like Jesus. Accountability. Who's in your life to tell you to get up? We got a lot of encouragement, brothers. And that's one thing as I did self-assessment. I wish I could have more times of get up. You're not going in the right place. You're heading the wrong direction. Stop it. God sees you, he hears you, but you got to get up. I wish I have done more than that, but you know what? I've learned too that we're adults. And sometimes you have to go through the flames, the fire to be refined. At one point, I thought I could save everybody in this room. All I can do is get with you. I'm ripping and running and pulling my Bible out and praying for you, doing all kinds of things. But sometimes God says, you know what? You got to step back. You got to let adults who made a decision to walk like Christians act like Christians. And I want to encourage you, no matter where you are, you have something to offer. Your bad day is a good day for those who are not being Christians. Who's in your life holding you accountable? The iron sharpen iron relationship. When you need someone to look in your eyes and say, get up, are they there? We all need it. Not just my spouse. My wife Ruth don't mind telling me to get up. Not at all. And I respect that. But as men, we need somebody to tell us every now and then to get up. And wives, I got to talk to my wives because you know your husband, if you're married, better than anybody. So my encouragement and challenge to the wives, if your husband or spouse is not moving, is lying there, not responding, get help. Be the Proverbs 31 woman. You're there to help him, not to harm him. Get him some help. Need a helpmate. And one thing that Ruth and I do when we disciple couples, we always tell couples to find someone that connects with the wife. If you got a couple, it's very important the wife is tied in early. If you get the wife, brother, if you get your wife, spouse tied in early, if you're married, if you get them tied in early, those emotional things you deal with and those times they go up and down, man, if they have someone that can pick the phone up and call to and vent, man, your household, you see the difference. Men, we could take it a little bit, but our wives are built different. So I encourage them, find 2 or 3 relationships, and hopefully they all 3 are not struggling at the same time. So, amen to that. But do you want to get well? Get up. And lastly, true healing leads to transformation. If you're totally healed, you're different. If you're totally healed, when people see you, they see Christ. If you're totally healed, we shouldn't have to ask you to serve. If you're totally healed, we shouldn't have to ask you, thank you for those who donated the basket and back. When you're totally healed, you don't have to be asked to give. You've been blessed so much, man, you're giving over. You just find a way, hey, where can I help? You're asking, where can you help? When you're totally healed, you don't have to look for volunteers. There's so many volunteers, you're just trying to find out who to pick from. Because when you're truly healed, you're transformed. You're shining. You're glowing. You're innocent. You're pure. You want to be out there. You want to show the world what God has done to you. Are you healed this morning? Have you allowed God to refine you, to help you where you can be the light of the world? I've been having a lot of great conversations like that where people are crying out for just conversations, just relationships. Someone to talk to, pray with, just to be acknowledged. They're looking for those who are light in the world. Again, I don't know how you came this morning, but right now we're going to prepare to take the communion. There's a short challenge there for you. The challenge is, do you want to get well? If you want to get well, what are you doing to get well? If you not have a cup, raise your hands and the ushers will come around to give you a cup to take our communion. This is something that we've been doing for a while and the church has been doing over years. The bread represents the body, the juice represents the blood. But as we think about refining, as we think about this passage of being healed, I want you to think about and make a note of yourself. Do you really want to get well? If you don't want to get well, what is there blocking you? What road barriers or what barriers are there blocking you where you don't want to get well? I want to encourage you to dig deep. Go to God. And most importantly, God sees you. We see you. God sees your pain. God hears your cry. God hears your prayer. God knows where you are in your marriage. God knows where your kids are. He knows where your kids going to grow up to be. He knows your job situation. He's got that already fixed up. He knows the people you already got an attitude with. He knows those that you're struggling with. He knows your financial situation. He knows your hurt. He knows your struggle. He sees you. Allow God to heal you. Let's go to God in prayer. God, you're amazing. We know only through you that we can be healed. God, pray as we look at the man who laid there numb for 38 years. And finally you came along with the simple words, do you want to get well? And then you came back and you challenged them. Hey, get up. Walk. Put that behind you. God's got greater things for you. You've been messed up for so long, it's time to be free. And then once you get free, when those in the world see you, they can see the power of God and how God can heal. God, as we get ready to take this communion that represents you, I pray as we take this bread that we can think about your body, the sacrifice that you gave for us. You put your body on the line, being spit on. But God, you did that so that we can be free, that we can be healed. I pray for the juice that we're about to take that represents your blood. Father, I pray for just a moment, just for a second. If each one of us in this room can imagine being at the foot of the cross, looking up in your eyes and hearing your words, Father, forgive them. God, I pray as we look up, we'll do our own heart search and we'll ask the question, I want to be healed. Or do you want to be well? And God responds, well, hey, trust in me, believe in me, you'll be healed. As we take this, God, I pray that you'll bless it. We ask this in your name. Amen. Amen, church. That concludes our service today. And Marcus and the crew will be back next week. If you're visiting, thank you for joining us for today. I pray that there's something from that passage that help you see that God is watching you, God sees you, God feels you, God hears you. I pray as we go our ways today, no matter where you are, remember your bad day can be a good day for somebody. As you walk out here, no matter where you go to lunch or what time you spend with family, let your light shine. We're currently dismissed. Thank you so much for joining us for worship today. I'll be around up front if you want to come up and chat if you have questions. But enjoy the fellowship. Touch base with someone you have not met, that you do not know. But have encouraging fellowship and time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and may God bless you. You are dismissed. I never